Welcome back, everyone. Holy fucking shit.
What up?
Holy shit. It has been a road back to episode 1. Well, we thought. Okay. We got to tell this story. All right.
This has been quite the
week.
Yeah.
Quite the week for everyone. So Aaron and I recorded episode 100 last week. And I'll just do that so we both can watch it. Last week, and you know what? Actually, yeah. So the fucking episode 100 was recorded, and then I come back to like finish it up and post it, and the first 50 minutes are just gone. The first 50, not the second 50. The first 50 are just gone. So,
Rip.
I guess it wouldn't be Lost in the Dark episode 100 without some kind of fucked up technical difficulty like that. I think things that have plagued us throughout the entire adventure. But we are still in the crypt, the original crypt. We will be moving. I'm moving, and we will be moving the studio here over the next few days. But the reason why all of this took so long to come together is A, we lost the first half of the episode, and B, all week this week, I have been psychotically working so many hours a day, I don't even know, on getting my, because I'm moving and I need to build a new cage for my Philippine sailfin dragon. Is my pet. So I had to build her a new enclosure. They require giant enclosures, 5 foot by 5 foot kind of shit. And, I had to fucking go out, buy the wood, get all the pieces, paint all the wood, do all everything, every single thing. And it took so much time and effort, and so many times I wanted to, like, stab so many things. I cannot even tell you how close I was so many times to just destroying everything I had created. Fuck all this. Like, oh, my God. I was, like... It was a lesson in stepping back and taking a deep breath before you do anything, unlike anything I've ever had. Like, so fucking furious. And then, the week started with losing the episode. So already white hot rage. Yeah. White hot rage out the gate. And then all the rest of everything else happened. Oh my God. And then it doesn't occur to me until like 2 days before I'm done. Oh shit, I should have been posting all this. Like, all week, everything I've been doing, I should have been posting all of it and telling everyone what I've been doing. Yeah. And it didn't occur to me until, like, the last 2 fucking days. I was like, you fucking moron.
I mean, you've been on it, though.
A little bit. I've been all right, yeah. But...
Well, it's tough when you got so much going on to, like, work it into the...
my brain was just... Like, I was obsessed. Yeah. I couldn't sleep. Like, I was just totally obsessed with getting it done. And, like, I couldn't focus on anything else at all. Yeah. So, like, it wasn't until the last 2 days where my brain finally relaxed enough to be like, hey, you have a podcast. You should maybe do something with that Instagram you got, So, so that's been the delay. I have been posting. I let some people know. You can go on there and check out some of the progress of the lizard cage and everything. So that has been, that's been why episode 100 was supposed to be out already, and now it is just now coming out. So, but we have the second half of the episode. We have like around 50 minutes still of an episode that is going to be at the end of this one. Yeah. We are going to put what we have from the original episode 100 at the end of this one. So it's all good. This is all episode 100. This is just, we wanted to explain that, talk about it, and get that going. So just wanted to bring everyone up to date. But now
I believe it was you who texted me, like, it wouldn't be episode 100 of Lost in the Dark without something happening or something like that. So
without some fucked up bullshit, unexplainable alien ghost ass. Fuck, we got ghosts in the machine, bro. We got ghosts in there's little fucking wire demons or something. I don't even know.
It's the same figures that came after Preston, which is why he's not here.
The
fanatics.
Yeah, that's why Preston wasn't on the episode. I tried to have him call in, But he texted me back and said he was attacked by religious fanatics. So
They must have wiretapped and found out.
they're fucking with us.
So
I don't even.
anyway,
Yeah, that was something that got lost. But so yeah, we want to talk about a few. There are two things. Or there's one main thing we want to talk about that we did lost that we want to re-talk about, and then everything else will just be fresh, pretty much. Main thing is that we attended some shows. Go ahead, you start off. Talk about what show did you... Yeah, I got to pull it up, too. You got to tell me what... You were at the Sanctuary in Detroit with Alex, your singer, and
so we saw their first tour in like 10 years.
I'm sorry, Aaron. Terribly sorry. You know what? We just hit the ground running there. Let's take this shot.
Okay.
Let's inaugural shot of episode 100. Here we go. Clink to 100 episodes, my friend.
Yes.
At war with a bottle as Captain Morgan attacks my organs. Woo! I love Captain so much. Anyway, Sanctuary, Detroit.
Yeah.
We have become.
So yeah, it was October 18th. And for everybody that's familiar with Michigan deathcore, from its early stages, you'll understand why this band was such a big deal and why the show was such a big deal. Yeah, we went and saw And Hell Followed With their first tour in like 10 years or so. It was their first home show, and about that, it was with them, Weeping Wound, Victims, and let's see here, who else? Oh man, well, it's them. Sorry,
You're good.
So yeah, And Hell Followed With, Victims, Widowmaker, Weeping Wound, and then the two local bands were Mild Will and Coffin Talk. That was at Sanctuary in Detroit, which is like it's kind of become one of the more like popular venues
really
of the last year, I'd say.
Yeah, like I started seeing more stuff there like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago maybe. And then in this last year it really has become a hub for heavy fucking metal and local metal, a great place, and it's a great venue.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Honestly, like that's one of the things that keeps me coming back to it is that like the sound in it is awesome. It's just like it's kind of in that sort of like weird, like not so much like sketcy area, but it's in a weird part of Detroit.
It's in Hamtramck. It's literally like 3 blocks down from Smalls.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, because like before I didn't really hear about it until like we played it and we started going to it and stuff. And
I definitely have heard about Smalls way back in the day, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know what? I did used to hear about the Sanctuary way back. I wonder how long it's been there. Let me hear. You keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll look that up.
So we, I went with my singer Alex, and we ended up missing the first two opening bands, but I heard they were really good. A lot of people were talking about them and stuff, and they've played Michigan Metal Fest before, so I've had a chance to see them. But yeah, we got there and Weeping Wound started, and they were pretty good. They had kind of like an Emir kind of style to them a little bit, but with it's like Emir meets like Sworn In, that kind of like down tempo sort of stuff. And then Widowmaker was really sick. They were definitely one of the more like straightforward kind of like down tempo bands a little bit. I actually ended up getting in the pit for them. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah!
Because there was a good amount of people that showed up and stuff. And I think majority of the people that were there kind of like, I mean, it wasn't like a sold out crowd. Or it wasn't like packed or anything, but it was a good amount of people to where like the floor was pretty full and everything. And so
yeah, it
was cool to kind of hang out and just kind of see all that. And then Victims were really sick. They were one of the bands I've been kind of watching for a little while and kind of seeing. I think they were one of the more younger bands that was on it, in terms of like age-wise and in terms of like just their sound and stuff. Like they're one of the more current bands that's going right now. Next to them and Widowmaker a lot. I think both of them put out an album recently.
Nice.
Or had a few releases and stuff. And then it was And Hell Followed With. It was their headliner, and they opened with one of my favorite songs ever from them. So that was really sick to hear. Like I felt like I was back in like middle school, like high school age, kind of like rediscovering it for the first time, sort of, and like hearing it live was just crazy to me. But it was the release show for their Chimerical Reality EP that came out, and it was cool because they played a couple of songs off of their first 2 albums, which I think the last one came back in 2010. So it was cool to hear kind of some throwbacks and stuff. But they did something kind of weird, or kind of not weird, just different. They played the full EP that they just put out, top to bottom, which is really like, because I'd listen to it. I mean, not like in depth or anything like that, but I listened to it when it came out and stuff, and I was really impressed by it. And like the singles that they put out, really cool.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to hear like how it carried over from the release and the recordings of it to live and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a night of nostalgia.
Fuck yeah.
for everybody, because Alex hadn't seen them. I think I'm pretty sure we both missed them the first time they came through and stuff, because for whatever reason. I mean, it was a long time ago, but that was like, because their last album came out like 2 years before I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking like old school, like real nostalgic kind of stuff. So
hell yeah,
it was cool to actually see them and like hear some of those songs that I've been listening to for quite a while. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, apparently the Sanctuary opened in 2014.
Oh, okay.
And then reopened at its current location. It moved in 2018. So yeah, it's been, and apparently it's known for like it's supposed to be the spot for what that article said, at least DIY punk, hardcore, and metal, which is pretty much
covers it.
Yeah, that covers this venue style, and it's fantastic. It's a really great place. Well, that is awesome. I'm glad you had a great time at that show. The show I went to was here in Lansing, at the Loft. It was the From Blue to Gray show with special guests after the minor, Varinger, Tyrant, A Silence, and of course, Ricopter.
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure, I did have a lot going on that night, so I was only actually able to be there for A Silence, and I went for Ricopter. I wanted to see Ricopter. So I only saw those two bands. A Silence I was very impressed by. They were the opener. Not a lot of people were there. They did not have a very big crowd, but yet they still fucking went out there and did it. You know what I mean? They were. Then I thought they had a pretty cool sound, kind of like blackened thrash a little bit.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. And one of the guitarists was using a Randy Rhoads. I was like, yes. And then Recorruptor comes out and fucking it would be hard to follow that, is all I'm gonna say. Like, they come out and do something that is hard to follow. That is for goddamn sure. Like, they played like 3 new tracks.
Yeah.
Brand new, not yet heard on an album yet, and they were fucking insane. Oh my god. And yeah, their energy is just
they're like one of the few local bands that makes me tired when you watch them.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. They just have so fucking much energy on that stage, and it when they only have like a 4 or 5 song set, it really leaves you wanting more of that.
Yeah.
So if the next band comes out and they aren't matching that energy, careful.
Yeah.
Careful is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they shout out to Recorruptor, episode 100, motherfucker. This is episode 100, Aaron. We've made it to 100, and Recorruptor was one of our guests. We've interviewed bands, and Recorruptor was a guest. So shout out to them. I will go to as many of their shows as I possibly can and support them. Same way I do Bogwraith with you, just because they're great guys, and yeah, they were on the show, so they get that bump. Like, that's fucking. And their shows are awesome. Like, I've never been to one and been like, meh, wasn't as good as last time. No, like, never. It's always better than last time. So yeah, they fucking kill it, and I'm excited. They got a few more shows coming up this year, so be sure to check them out on Bandcamp, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and everything. Yeah,
I think the next one is the Vestigial.
Yes, in Grand Rapids at. What's that place called? Pyramid Scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids. It's like an arcade bar.
Yeah, them and Throne.
Yeah. Oh, Throne is so fucking good.
Real good, yeah.
I do want to go to that. If we can, maybe we should.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is, though. It's coming up. Yeah. I know that. But then I think they got one in Max in like mid-November that we definitely got to hit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So both of our shows were great then. That's awesome. One thing I do want to talk about is I saw the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow tour in Detroit, baby. Fucking first time back at the Fillmore since the refurbishment.
Oh.
Dude.
Right. I forgot they did all that.
Yeah. It was closed for a few months, you know? And they redid the marquee. It's just a big ass fucking screen now, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And then in the inside, dude, like immaculate. Like there are paintings up on the walls, like part of the walls are paintings, you know what I mean? That I'd never even noticed before. Probably because it was so dirty.
Yeah.
Like they just like went in and cleaned and like refurbished everything to its original fucking like glory.
Yeah.
And it is like, do you follow Joe Rogan on social media and stuff?
Yeah. I was actually going to bring that up.
With the fox?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Oh, wow.
Like it looks like that in there now. Like it just looks, yeah. Dude, it's just beautiful. It is. They did such a good job. Everything is super clean. Just fucking, oh, yeah. It's super nice. I love it. I cannot wait to see a metal show there again.
There's something about like places like that kind of make you forget where you're at for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you walk in, it's so like everything is just like gigantic. Like the ceilings are raised.
Dude, these unbelievably beautiful theaters that Detroit has. And dude, I tell you what, man, we were down there. Fucking, it was a goddamn Tuesday night. Jay and Silent Bob were at the Fillmore. Somebody was at the Fox. Red Wings were playing.
Oh, shit.
The place was fucking hopping. Like downtown Detroit is hopping. It is crazy out there right now. Like there's a lot going on. And yeah, it was seeing the movie. Oh yeah, and Preston kept saying, you know what's weird being here, knowing that like chaos isn't about to erupt. Like that's what we're used to being here for.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it is kind of weird. But yeah, seeing the movie in the theater with them and with a giant crowd of fans that are probably just as close to as hardcore as me as you're gonna get, you know, was amazing. Like, because they all because you saw it with me in the theater.
Yeah.
They all acted how I wanted to act in that theater, but felt too embarrassed to do.
Yeah.
Like clapping and cheering and like laughing crazy loud, like just like and going like you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff. Like the seats were terribly uncomfortable, but besides that, it was fucking really cool to sit there and watch them. And then they came out after and did a Q&A. Funny as fuck. Kev told about how, so you know the role that Kevin Smith, not as Silent Bob but as himself, plays in the movie.
Yeah.
Originally, that was Stan Lee's role.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that kills me.
And then he died, and Kevin was like, I don't know what to do. Well, I need someone in pop culture.
Dude.
And I know someone that's going to be there every day. So,
yeah.
I guess it'll be me.
Wow. Could you imagine?
Dude, oh my God.
That would have been
It would have been
hilarious.
so good. It would have been so fucking good, dude. They would have needed him on set for a while, though. Like, they would have needed him for a while. That's the crazy part. But he would have done it. He wanted to do it. That little snippet they put in at the end, he wanted to do it. I remember watching. What the fucking crazy part is that snippet they put in the end where he's on the IMDb boat during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I watched that live on YouTube at work at the glass shop back when I worked there. I knew it was happening. I was excited for Comic-Con because all the trailers and fucking. I remember watching. I was like, "Ooh, Kevin Smith is interviewing Stan Lee." And fucking I remember seeing that live. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the thing that they played during when we saw it the first
movie.
time, that was like the live stream part of it.
Yeah.
They just kind of put that in there. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, it was fucking. But yeah, so that was pretty crazy. He told that. I was like, wow, I hadn't heard him say that yet. I was like, that's pretty crazy.
Dude, that would have been pretty crazy.
But yeah, we in the second half of this episode, in the part that we still have from last time, we have our You're in My segment talking about the actual Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So we won't get into the movie. We don't have to get into the movie here. It's already in this episode. coming up. But yeah, I wanted to mention that I saw that, and if you get a chance to go see that tour and you're a fan, go see it. It's a really, really fun time and a really, really fun night. So they put on a great show, and it's just, every time I get to be in a room with them, it's special. It's special to me.
Yeah.
It's very special to me. So
it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, and it really bums me out. I haven't fucking stayed after to meet him yet or anything.
Yeah.
And I haven't, Preston got to meet Jay.
Yeah.
But
the sign thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't met either of them yet, and I need to very badly.
I've seen, because we've gone to a couple like meet and greet stuff before.
Yeah.
But like I imagine like standing in line for them, like you'd probably be like tripping. Like,
yeah, like that is another level, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's. Well, I guess I do, because I met Josta and I listen to him on podcasts constantly.
Yeah.
But like besides him, I don't know.
Met Alexi.
Yeah, but he's not on podcasts.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I don't like because it's different when the fan relationship with a band where your only interaction with them is through their CDs is very different than a podcast, because they're
true.
telling everything on the fucking podcast,
Yeah.
right? So it's I've often thought about that, like how would I act if I ever met any of these people, because like in a fucked up way, I feel like I know them, but I don't, and they don't know me at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so weird. Like it's such a weird relationship, kind of. But like that, it's such a weird fan to something relationship with these podcasts. It's a whole new thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, with them, because he also I'm a fan of obviously his movies and his book and everything. So in his comic books, and yeah, so that would be a trip for sure, especially at this point. Especially at this point with him specifically, because I've seen him live a bunch of times. You know what I mean? So there's so much build.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd be tripping. I'd be tripping. I'd be freaking the fuck. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. And the crazy
Dogma was cool.
Dude,
I like Dogma.
The fucked up part was that one time he was in Lansing. He went to Walmart in Okemos.
That's
remember?
right. Yeah.
I was sitting there at work watching his fucking Instagram, like, no! Are you serious? Oh man, could have seen him in Walmart.
Yeah. Could you imagine just being there, just like walking down there, and all of a sudden, like he's just standing there, just at the checkout, like.
Did you ever tell the story about a guy who like noticed him and kind of like kept side eyeing him a little bit, and like he noticed Kevin like find the jorts and start buying jorts, and the guy goes, "This is where you get your jorts? I'm getting my jorts here now."
I don't think I ever saw that.
It was
honestly,
fucking funny.
wow.
I was like, that would be, but yeah. I mean, think about the fucking people that we love and follow that, like, cause Jay Muse just goes into those places all the time. He loves those kind of stores,
Yeah.
Target, Meijer, whatever. So does Corpse Grinder. So like one day, in theory, it is possible that one day you and I could walk into a Target and see Jason Mewes and Corpse Grinder, and you and I are the only ones that realize the gravity of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
The situation that is occurring. No one else, most people would not realize, because we're fans of weird shit, but we're like super fans.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I was listening to, there's another podcast with, it's the guy the singer from Prison and Ex Dark Sermon.
Okay.
He's got one, and he was talking to the vocalist for the Acacia Strain, Vincent.
All right.
And I guess he was saying that, like, because one of the questions, like one of the big like icebreakers or whatever, is like, what do you nerd out about that like most people would be surprised about? And I guess he said like, he's like, I like to hang out at malls a lot and just kind of like people watch and stuff.
He's a mall rat.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, man, like I work at a mall. Like, what are the odds that like,
what if?
You know, just
What
hanging
if?
out one day and all of a sudden like, you know,
Yeah.
like he's like, I just like to people watch and just kind of like.
You're a mall rat.
In a way, yeah.
That's kind of. You should watch that movie again.
I really
just
should.
Live it. Just live it. Stanley's in that movie.
Oh, is he?
That's one of his first. One of, if not his first movie cameo, actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
and he
know
has
that.
kind of like a really good part.
Yeah.
Really cool part. I love it.
I just thought it was like a funny side note. It just got me thinking about
That's
it. Like,
awesome.
you'd be surprised who who you can run into just randomly.
That's
like,
when I went to Scotland over the summer, I was keeping my eyes peeled in every airport. I was like, people just walk through. Anybody just walks through these. Like, you could see anybody in here. Like, I see people like the comedians and stuff and musicians that I follow on Instagram posting from airports all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, I could say one of them, but no, I didn't see it. Maybe I did and I didn't realize it, but not.
Well, wasn't Download Fest going on when you were there?
That was.
Or that was. No, that was something different.
No, it was Download.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was Download, but I was in Scotland. That happens in England.
Oh, right.
They're on the same island, but it's cut in half. And the top part's Scotland, the bottom part's England, and I was in the top half. So, it was going on like way far away. Well, I mean, way far away, but not really. Like, if I were there for a few more days, I could have done the 4 hours in a train or whatever the fuck I need to do to get to that show and see Slipknot and see fucking Lamb of God. And, oh my God. In a different country. Wow. Dream. That is literally a dream.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Literally a dream, dude. To know. I mean, I even want to see metal shows in other states.
Yeah.
I want to do that really bad. I want to know what crowds are like in other places. I want to know if it's actually different here.
Yeah.
Or if it's not. You know, I don't know. I hear them say like there are like every time they mention the crate, like if they ask a musician where's the craziest place in America, a lot of them will say like places like Arizona or something like that, like places you would not expect. And I'm like, oh, it should be Detroit.
Yeah. Well, Detroit Rock City.
We need to turn it up. We're the fucking Motor City, motherfuckers.
I actually read somewhere that I don't know where it was at, but there was an article that was like Grand Rapids is the best spot for like heavy music or like concert goers or whatever.
What?
Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of where it was at.
The Grand Rapids, Michigan was one of the best places to see a show. That's dead wrong. Fuck them and whoever. If that's what it says, while you find it, let me just say, if that's what it says. And I'm not talking shit. The venues in Grand Rapids are great. I love the Van Andel. I loved the Orbit Room. I love the Intersection. I haven't been to the place in the basement of the Intersection yet. I do want to check that out. I love the 20 Monroe Live. I love going out there for shows. But if there is going to be, in my experience, if I'm going to a show and the crowd is going to be shitty, the percentage is so much higher in Grand Rapids. And by shitty, I mean not as much crowd cooperation.
Yeah.
They a lot more impress me bros, a lot more people just standing around not seeming as into it. It didn't used to be that way. Back in the days of the Orbit Room, it was chaos. I don't know what changed in the last few years, but in the last few years, I have noticed a dramatic change in the audience. Everything else has been fantastic.
Yeah.
But in the audiences, I've seen a change. It's weird. I don't know what it is. It didn't used to be that way.
It was, I've kind of noticed that same thing too, especially like going to stuff like either around here or, like you said, like Grand Rapids or whatever, like they're...
Well, no. I only noticed it in Grand Rapids.
Oh.
I'm saying everywhere else is been still going hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes depending on the venue, but
sometimes it depends on like the night or like like the bands or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree. I feel like more of the crazy like super hype shows are usually Detroit. Like
it's not even that. It's that because based on my experience, let's say next Lamb of God tour, they're gonna have a Detroit date and a Grand Rapids date. I'm gonna go to the Detroit date because I know that crowd is gonna be better.
All right.
Based on my experience.
Yeah.
Like the Grand Rapids crowds just aren't. You know what I mean? It's not even about like what show it is or anything. It's just in general. Well, it's weird.
You can
but
really...
they used to be chaos.
Yeah.
Back in the days of the Orbit Room, and even if you went to the Intersection back in those days.
Yeah.
Chaos. Like intense.
Yeah.
Fucking chaos. But yeah, like even that Cannibal show we went to.
I was like surprisingly tame.
Tame. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess so, yeah.
That's my That's my point. Like, surprisingly tame. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, you can.
So I'm surprised at whoever the fuck might have wrote that article.
Well, come to find out, it was just like a radio thing or like some.
Probably a Grand Rapids radio station saying we're the best place for a concert.
It's kind of what
tickets.
it looks like. I don't know what this station is from, but I was gonna say you can really tell, like if it's a band you've seen like multiple times, and like before it was like up here as far as like energy wise, and then like the next time it's kind of like
the band or the crowd.
Just I don't know, just all of it. So, well,
with band usually
more so like crowd.
I was gonna say in our experience, it's pretty rare for the bands we like to not come out and turn it to 11.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rare. It happens, but it's rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally seen Alexi Leho play with a broken arm. So, I mean, there's that. I've seen fucking singers sing with blown out voices, but they do it anyway, and it still sounds pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, not disappointed at all. Like, yeah. So, episode 100. We made it.
Yes.
We've made it all the way. It's crazy. Like, we've interviewed bands. We've get multiple guests. Like, nothing crazy. No one, just people from our lives, but like
still big milestones.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah, absolutely. And like we've done reviews.
Yeah.
We've done reaction videos. We did a review in a car once.
Couple of
them. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's one thing we talked about. My favorite comment, because I don't really read the comments on YouTube because I don't get notified. My favorite comment ever was on that one of our, I think it was our Metal Fest video. I saw someone says this video reeks like weed. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for helping us get to episode 100 because that made me laugh so hard. I was like, I want to do more of these to get more comments like that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We didn't even smoke weed in that car. Well, we should have. Man, it's been crazy. We've done episodes about album artwork, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
And I think I'd even like I don't know if I want to do that the way we did it before. But I still would like to do something where we shine light on album artwork somehow. You know what I mean? I don't know what.
Well,
but
there's a number of, really like because I use a lot of, more so lately because of all the weird shit that's been going on, more so Instagram than Facebook or whatever. But I tend to follow a lot of like different artists and stuff on Instagram because I feel like that's the easiest way to kind of, like get that direct, like what they're doing or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, I recently the new Fit for an Autopsy came out. I've been like obsessed over. Like I can't stop listening to it. But I really like the artwork, and I was trying to figure out like who did it all and stuff, and like where all the concepts came from, and so I just found it and just started like following it and stuff, and then that led to me finding like 5 or 10 more artists and stuff. So it might be kind of cool to do like a, like something like that, like an artist spotlight kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking about not so much just like solely, people that do.
These are the not just talk about the Megadeth covers or the Lamb of God covers or the Children of Bodom covers, but actually talk about, come at it from the other way.
Yeah.
And actually just talk about, these are some of the artists that I like. Like, we've already talked about Vince Locke, who does all the Cannibal from Michigan. Shout out. Oh, fuck. I don't remember but yeah. We've talked about a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's whole episodes that we did early on. Like, I think it was our first, 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Did those. So. Yeah, we're doing a lot of little special episodes that I'm gonna go back and still maybe do at least 1 or 2 of a few of them, because I think there's a few that are 3 and there's only 3 or 4 of them. I want them all to at least have 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to work on that.
Because the artwork is just as much a part of the image and the style and everything as the music is.
Yes.
So
it's just as important. Like, I love album artwork a lot. So it's important to me because I feel like that's something that could, if not taken care of, it could die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people aren't really buying physical copies anymore. And so, yeah. But yeah, album artwork is awesome. Love it. I don't remember how we started talking about that.
100th episode.
100th fucking episode. Cheers, my friend.
Hey.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. And cheers to all of our listeners. Thank you so much for having listened. If you've listened, if you spent any time at all watching our reviews or listening, thank you. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, we literally, this whole thing only exists because there would be, with all my friends, I have these great conversations with so many of them, like you and I in particular, like on nights when we're coming back from a concert, especially. Like, and I started realizing there are so many times where I wish there had been a microphone in that car and I could get that audio, you know what I mean, and post it as a podcast. And so this podcast, in a sense, is, an attempt from me to capture some of those conversations with my friends and just to talk about all the shit that I love. Like, this is just like, it's like my happy place. This is like where I go, and it's just nothing but movies I like, music I like, people I like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just all fun. And, it's all it is, really. So, if you spent any time at all enjoying what we do, we appreciate you more than anything. Seriously.
Well, with all the new podcasts and everything, because it's still a relatively new,
extremely,
form of entertainment and stuff. And so if you spent, even if it's just like 5 minutes listening to any of them, like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, seriously.
If you took anything from it, then hey.
And we've gone deep.
Even better, yeah.
We've gone
deep. Been a couple of,
bro. Yeah. We've gone real deep. We've talked about anxiety.
Yeah.
We've talked about sleep paralysis. We've talked about diet and exercise. We've talked about the universe. But I don't know. Still, some of my favorite, definitely some of my favorite episodes are still where we just go off, not about any band in particular, but just about music in general. Yeah. Like, when we just get completely lost in conversation and fucking talking about, like, just music and what it is and what it means and all that. Like, those are some of my favorites, dude. Oh my God.
There's a few that, like, little, like, tangents and stuff. And,
dude,
like,
the one where we got drunk as fuck recently, like in the last, like, 20 episodes or so. That was one of my favorite ones still. Like, I should go back and listen to that one. Like, I was like, That was good. That was so good. But yeah,
because it started from just kind of like listening to Iron Maiden and, like, just talking about, like, old bands and stuff, and then, like, I don't know, it just kind of went from there. It was crazy.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius. So good, dude. Just that's what there's a lot of steps, and I tell you what, that fucking cage took me a whole lot longer to build than I thought it would, and there's so much more that I want. This podcast, look, we're at episode 100. We haven't scratched the surface yet.
Yeah.
We're still getting better at this, and B, I have a lot that once I take the next, like, 5 or 6 steps I already have mapped out and I know that I need to take, once they just require money, once those are done, we will, I think this thing will, I think we'll start really seeing something because right now this is super DIY till you die. We got nothing. We literally have this shit raw from Audacity and post this shit. You know what I mean? Like, we got no. I can't even control it to like, I post it to YouTube and it posts everywhere that it posts. I don't know where the fuck it's posting. To be totally honest, I don't know all the platforms that we're on. People tell me we're on some. My sister and stuff will tell me, oh yeah, I listen to you on this. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I just post to YouTube and I see it show up in iTunes. So I'm like, okay, at least it's in those 2 places. So yeah, there is work to be done, but once we get there, I think we're just gonna be able to do bigger and better things. I think. So
I kind of want to make a point to do more, like, of the video stuff. I want to do more reviews.
Yeah, you want to be, dude.
Like, because there's so many, like, I mean, I don't know. I know we talked about the Whitechapel one
Yeah.
for the Valley that came out, which hasn't happened. And the Fit for an Autopsy, I definitely want to talk about.
Yeah.
And just I don't know. We have some cool ideas for end of the year.
Yes, we do. Oh
Style,
yeah,
like-
we just thought of the other day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we could do album of the decade.
Yeah.
Our album of the decade.
I don't even know where to
list.
start. This is
I don't even know where the. That's daunting.
2010 to 2020.
Yeah.
I don't even know like 10 years like that, dude. Like
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden it's like
wow.
as like the first time I started thinking about it was that thing that you sent
Yeah.
to the chat.
Yeah.
I was like a website was doing it. I was like, son of a bitch.
I saw
Like,
that when I woke up that morning and my head just started. I couldn't fall back
Yeah.
asleep. My head just started spinning. I was like, album of the decade.
Like they're like that's like you want to talk about being stressed about last year's Filthy 15.
Yeah.
Like we're talking 10 years worth of albums.
Yep.
I'm down honestly.
We should do
Like
it.
I don't know
We
where
should
to
sit
even
down
start.
together one day and
That'd be-
just
Yeah.
go through it, and not even it won't even be a podcast, but we'll record it anyway and post it as a podcast. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we should do that soon.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then we got some things, but so fuck. I mean, anything else you want to talk about in this first segment? Adler.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
The only reason that I want to bring this up is, well, I guess there's two reasons, really. The first one is that we didn't talk about it last time,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's super important because for both of us, really.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I just, like, I wanted to add it last time, but it just got kind of lost in the dark, so to speak, with everything else that we were talking about. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because it's interesting.
Some
to me.
big metal news, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, hold on. Yeah, let's talk about Adler. So the Adler we're talking about is, of course, Chris Adler, former drummer of Lamb of God. And he recently addressed this is the first band lineup change ever, I think, for Lamb of God. And
26 years.
he recently addressed him no longer being in the band. So yeah, what is your take on this?
It's weird. It's really weird to me because I was kind of reading it because I was like, I wanted to bring it up and stuff, but I kind of wanted to figure out like where I stood with it because on the one hand, you know, there was that thing about his motorcycle crash, which he mentions.
Mm-hmm. Which was what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That's what I think most people thought, is that his motorcycle crash took him out of the game for a really long time, and maybe he was just injured to the point where he couldn't really return to Lamb of God.
Yeah.
That is apparently very much not the case.
Yeah.
But in fairness, like, we had all heard about the motorcycle crash and then nothing else. All we knew is that he hadn't been touring for a long time.
Yeah.
They're so private. That's all any of us knew.
Yeah.
So, it's not exactly an unfair assessment.
Yeah. Well, and the news about him not playing live with them, like that's
Right.
not a new thing. Like
No,
majority of
no.
people that saw him within the last, I don't know, 2 years, almost.
It's been since we saw him at the 20 Monroe,
Yeah.
at the very least. So and that was like 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's been, and
2017
yeah.
was his motorcycle accident.
So they're and like I actually really appreciate, and like I don't know, I find that really like just the way that they handle their like PR stuff, and kind of like it's all very close to the chest.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of liked that because it's not like everybody knows everything about everything that's going on with them. It's very like, kind of secretive or whatever.
Not even secretive. They're just private. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Very similar to like Cannibal Corpse right now with the Pat situation. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot. All we know is what happened and nothing else after. We don't know
Yeah.
what the situation is currently. Very much like this.
So when I first read this, I was like, I was kind of split with it. The reason I was is because, well, for one, I don't think that I would be quite the same musician, quite the same drummer if I hadn't heard of them, if I hadn't been like paying attention or like listening to them for all these years and stuff. And so it was on the one side I was like kind of bummed about it, but I wasn't super surprised at the fact that like he's kind of like talking about it, because I feel like enough time has passed and I feel like enough people have kind of been asking about it that it makes sense for him to finally be like, all right, like this is kind of what's happening and stuff like that. But what I didn't expect was the bit about, he was saying, what is it? We managed, let's see. Yeah, I didn't leave the dream. I didn't make the decision to leave my life's work. The truth is that I'm unwilling to paint by numbers. I wish my brothers all the best in their continued ventures. I can assure you that you will be hearing from me again. I was given a gift. I hope to continue to share it. Like that was kind of the part that like,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What does paint by number mean? I did not leave the dream. I did not make the decision to leave my life's work. So were you fired?
Well, and then, yeah, that was my thought. And then it goes down here. He goes and says, where is it? There is an ambiguous concept in our world of selling out. I cannot define the outside of my personal understanding. I can't define that outside of my personal understanding, but I know that being trapped in a creative formula and playing the same songs 10,000 times did not bolster my love of playing. I've never been one to phone it in. But then he goes on to say, I was not given a choice, and my dream is alive. So he's kind of saying like I'm tired, and like
he's still being cryptic.
Yeah, in a weird sort of way, it's like I didn't make the decision to leave, but it's not like a bitter thing. But it also kind of goes on to say like I wasn't given this choice, as in like it seems like they like kicked him out. But I don't know, like it's a weird, it's almost like kind of like two-sided, because up here he says like, oh, I didn't leave or whatever, and then down here, the whole paint by numbers thing, and then it says like, I don't know. Yeah. You can read it if you want it, but basically like I'm a little like,
I don't know what to make of it. Like I mean, he's being cryptic. He's not saying exactly what he means, and it's weird, and it's coming off weird.
Well,
to me.
I wonder, because the part that stuck out to me for a little bit was, but know that being trapped in a creative formula and playing the same songs 10,000 times did not bolster my love of playing.
That sounds like you want to leave. That sounds like you're tired of playing Lamb of God songs.
Yeah.
Except that's what you're going to be asked about for the rest of your life. So.
I mean,
because they're amazing songs, not because everybody, it's not a bad thing. Like this is one of the things that sometimes bums me out about metal, is when you find out your favorite metal bands, none of them are actually like metalheads.
Yeah.
They all listen to other shit and don't really like metal.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Like, I don't know. And it bums me out, and it's confusing to me, but at the same time, like as somebody that has played in bands, and as somebody that has been kind of, like kind of seen like the I don't know, like some of the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and like kind of thinking about like how I would deal with something like this, and like how I would kind of be feeling, because you got to imagine like he's been their drummer the entire career of their band.
Yeah, literally.
And I wonder if it just kind of stopped being fun for him.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if he just kind of like got sick of playing, Laid to Rest or Redneck or whatever, like,
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, those are like 10-year-old songs now, 15-year-old songs almost.
Yeah.
And I just,
Laid to Rest, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's that, or if it's just kind of like the whole situation and stuff, but
I mean, I get it. Like they wrote it and all that, and people that write the music never have the chance to hear it for the first time, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to it for like 15 years, and I'm nowhere near tired of it. So I don't know. I just can't relate to someone being tired of the Lamb of God. I don't know. what?
Well, think
Like-
about it. Think about it in this sense, like, so, and I don't know. I don't remember why we started talking about it, but I feel like it's come up before. Like the fact that they never had the chance to hear "Laid to Rest" the first time.
Right.
You know, they never had that chance to hear Redneck from an outside perspective,
Right.
as if it was from another band, like the first time or whatever. And so I don't know. Like it's tough, man. Like I like it. I'm not upset about it, but it definitely really bums me out. And especially because, you know, I mean, like Chris and Willie Adler, like that was
They're literally brothers.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like, you know, like if Mark left.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like the sound, like that's the sound that you expect. Like that's the, you know what I mean?
The writing.
Yeah.
The style.
And after like 8 hours, and that's why like the next one is like I'm really.
It's up in the air, isn't it? Like this could get like on the one hand, we've talked about it before about the next Lamb of God album and that Verum Strong or Durham whatever it is.
Sturm and
Drang. There we go. Whatever the fuck it is. That one you could hear them, in my opinion, you could almost hear them wanting to start bringing in other influences.
That was a pretty experimental sound.
But then Randy started a side project. Mark started his solo, did his solo album. So my theory, at least, was that so they got all that out in other avenues, and they're going to come back to Lamb of God and have it be more Lamb of God than ever. Yeah, which is what I want. But now with the new drummer, things are there's a big wild card. On the one hand, on the other hand, how much did Chris write? I do not know. I simply don't. Did he? I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I always felt like Mark was the main writer. But I don't know.
I always thought between him and Willie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then just like in the last few albums, Randy started writing lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you what, live they've been great with Art Cruz, who is their new drummer, formerly of Winds of Plague. And live it's been fantastic.
That's kind of the other thing. Like I'm not like when I first heard that the old Winds of Plague drummer was going to be filling in for him, I was like,
what?
Yeah.
That's weird. I love Winds of Plague.
Oh, yeah.
But
they're such a different style.
Yeah, very different.
So I don't know. Like it kind of the same thing. Like I don't know how much he wrote for it. I know he must have at least written like a good, 95% of his drum parts.
Yeah.
And that's like as a fan, that's the thing that's kind of
how much of his drum parts did he write is what I want to know.
Yeah.
And if he wrote a lot of them, that means that there's going to be a new element in Lamb of God. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we'll see. Just
and this didn't really hit me until we just started talking about it, but it's very much the same thing with like Joey Jordison.
Well,
Slipknot.
Also, I mean, I that makes sense that you'd go there. I immediately go to Devil Driver.
Oh yeah.
Because when they replaced their drum, that was my favorite metal drummer. Period.
Yeah.
Was Joe? What's his name?
Becklin.
Yeah. Becklin, something like that. Yeah. He's my fucking. I met him once, and those first like a lot of them, like 5 or 6 Devil Driver albums, are the drumming on those is. My favorite. It's my favorite.
Really sick.
And then Devil Driver got a new drummer, and then they released their second to newest album. Did not care for it too much, specifically the drumming. But then they came out with Country Outlaws cover album. Really liked the drumming on that one.
Yeah.
So maybe it just took some time to mesh. And so maybe that happens with Art and Lamb of God on the one hand. On the other hand, these other the Joey replacement, the Devil Driver replacement, they weren't touring with the band for 3 years before they wrote the album together.
Yeah.
So maybe that the touring cycle of the last 3 years with Art is gonna fucking that probably will, like, they've probably been writing together for a few years now, like just playing around and stuff a little bit. You know what I mean? So they have more chemistry already built up than the other examples that we have. I think.
Well, I mean, I guess in that regard, to kind of back up what I was saying, like, because I know that why can't I think of his name? The new replacement for Jay Weinberg.
Yeah.
From Slipknot.
Yep.
Like he was a fan of the band. I think I told the story.
Yeah.
From a young age and stuff, he kind of came on or whatever, and then so that's that kind of added to their sound now, and like I think he's just as good, if not a little bit better than Joey was.
It's very good.
And same kind of thing with well, I don't know. I guess I can't really say about Devil Driver because I wasn't a super big fan of some of their albums prior.
Well, they only have that one album out with the new drummer besides Country Outlaws.
Yeah. Is it Winter Kills, I think?
No. It was the one after Winter Kills. The Trust No One.
Oh, yeah. See, I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah. Like that, not one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Like, still good, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't care for it as much as... And Devil Driver was one of those bands where it's like, yeah, you could fuck it. I get... Maybe some people didn't really care as much for the concept albums that they started to do, like Pray for Villains. I fucking love Pray for Villains and Beast.
Yeah.
Like, I literally love, and what was it? Winter Kills.
Yeah.
Like, I literally love all their entire catalog. Never to me went down.
Yeah.
It was constantly up or staying. You know what I mean? It was always good. And then the first, in my opinion, slight step down was the replacement drummer. I just don't think he's at least at the time and I have a lot of hope because they got supposedly a double album coming out next year. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to hear it because live they've been sounding great.
Yeah.
Well,
didn't they replace like a guitar player as well?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't just the drummer.
Yeah.
That's true too.
That's a little more of like
but
a songwriting
drummer
change.
wrote a lot.
Yeah.
He wrote a lot.
Yeah.
Like he wrote all the songs you love from Devil Driver off the first 3 albums. He pretty much wrote most of those.
Yeah.
He was fucking because he was originally going to be like a guitarist or bass player, but he could also play drums. And they're like, all right, we don't have anybody else to play drums. Play drums until we find someone better. And they never did because he's the fucking best. And then he went. Isn't he in Bad Wolves now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in fucking Bad Wolves now, so he's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even though I don't think the drumming in Bad Wolves really quite shows off his talent as much as the drumming in Devil Driver did, in my opinion. But it's just not as much of an opportunity. You don't have as much freedom to just go crazy in a Bad Wolves song. You know what I mean?
I'm a little bit torn on that, mostly because Bad Wolves, but Bad Wolves put out a new record last week, I think.
Oh, really?
Same day that Fit for an Autopsy and all those came out.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So it kind of felt. I mean, I'm working my way to it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But like, it's. Because I feel like, I mean, you almost can't really put those two bands like in the same corner. I mean, you kind of can, but like,
no. That I wouldn't call Bad. Is Bad Wolves metal? Do they ever scream?
Yeah.
Okay, then they're metal.
Yeah.
All right, so they're metal. It's just a different kind of metal. It's a different subgenre completely.
So it's hard to, and maybe there is more of that on the new album. I'm not sure, but it did seem like somewhat of kind of like more so like writing the parts for the songs instead of writing it to be like backed by the drums and stuff. So I guess it kind of depends on like the songwriting of the new bands and stuff.
That too. Yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, like man, the Last Kind Words.
Oh, so good.
That whole album, like, that's one of those I wish I could go back and listen to the first time all over again.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like, there's so much of that album from, like, start to finish.
Fury of Our Maker's Hand?
Yeah, that one, too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Bound by the Moon? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bound by the Moon.
I was like, what is it?
I Could Care Less. That's a good one.
That one, they're deeper cuts on Last Kind Words.
How deep?
Like middle of the album. I'm trying to think of some titles.
Let's see here. I can't remember. See, I'm getting less kind words and fucking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Meet the Wretched. Revelation Machine.
These Fighting Words, Head on to Heartache, Burning Sermon.
Burning Sermon, dude. Oh my god.
Tirades of Truth, Bound by the Moon. Yeah, like this.
Oh, the one. Yeah. This is the one with clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monsters of the Deep. When summoned,
Yeah.
the axe shall fall.
Dude, I remember the first time I
Head
saw
on to
it.
Heartache. That's
Yeah.
a great live one. And so is Horn of Betrayal.
First time I saw it, I saw the video for Clouds Over California.
Oh, still one of my favorite metal
Hooked.
videos
Oh,
ever.
dude. Yeah.
Ever.
Because it's all their kids.
Yeah.
in it.
I fucking love that video, dude.
There's that one part where it's during the guitar solo when they're in that, like, I don't know, like that hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, there's just this windmill that happens in the middle of it where he's sitting next to the kid.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just gets me so pumped every time I see it.
Oh, my God. I fucking love that video,
Yeah.
dude. That's one of my that one, I also love the video for In Your Face.
Yeah.
That's a great video, too. Children of Bodom. Oh, but with that one and also Revolution Begins Arch Enemy, that's a great video.
Yeah.
Some of those fucking 2008 hitters, boy. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. God damn. Fucking love that shit.
I still want to try to cover a couple of their songs off that album.
Who, Arch Enemy?
Oh,
Devil Driver.
Devil Driver, yeah.
Anytime you want to do any Devil Driver Arch Enemy covers, you let me know. I will provide whatever is needed. I will. Oh, God.
yeah.
I know those songs in and out, motherfucker. In and out. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this Chris Adler shit, I don't know really what to make of it.
I don't know either.
But I look forward to hearing new music from both Lamb of God and Chris Adler. I will be interested to see what Chris Adler does next, if he joins another band or what. Maybe one day, maybe this is it right here. This is what happens. Is Lamb of God fucking gets huge now. Like huge, like Slipknot huge. And then without clean singing. And then they fucking a few years down the road, we get the reunion tour with Chris Adler on the drums. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Man. Wow.
This is kind of crazy, though. This is a crazy one. It's very rare that a band goes as long as they have without any lineup changes.
Like
it's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Extremely rare.
The only one of their history I can think of is between like the Burn the Priest days and then like after the first album.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the only time, and it was the guitar players.
Yeah.
But beyond that, for the last like 20 years, they've been the same lineup, same band.
Yep. Fucking crazy.
So, I don't know. I'm nervous about it.
Me too.
Not gonna lie to you, like, but it might. I mean, I don't know. It might add an interesting dynamic to their sound. It might kind of make a new, like, fresh kind of sound to them.
Yeah, that's very true.
So you never know.
We will see. I'm looking forward to it. That's for goddamn sure. Look forward to that. Devil Driver, Hatebreed, Anthrax, maybe Iron Maiden, all coming out next year. All of it. Cannibal Corpse.
It's, dude, like
Dahlia.
Yeah. That's like early next year.
There's so many good albums coming out next year. Oh my god.
I like after like every like this, as far as like personally, as far as like releases and stuff of like all the bands and stuff from this year, like I don't know where to go. Like, and there's so many that I haven't listened to yet that I'm like trying to make my way to.
I know, and we only have 2 months.
Yeah.
It is almost Halloween.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking tomorrow's Devil's Night, motherfucker.
We're moving. Yeah.
Tomorrow is Devil's Night. What's your favorite Halloween memory? What did you used to like dress up as? Like, what was your favorite costume as a kid? And when you look back and be like, yeah, that was sick.
I was Scorpion from Mortal Kombat one year.
What?
Yeah, it was around the same time that like because we never really like bought costumes. It was always kind of like that homemade stuff or whatever. So I had this crazy, like, it was all made out of like these like little like foam pieces or whatever, and it was like the whole like yellow thing, and I had like the mask and stuff all cut out.
Oh shit!
It was sick.
Damn.
There was that. I think one of the last times I went, I was I was B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh my god!
When I was like 13. I think I went as one of the guys from Good Charlotte one year when I was in like elementary school.
Oh my god!
that there is pictures of somewhere.
Oh my god! You need to give me those pictures. Oh my god! We will release a lost. You and I will make an entire album worth of music and release it just so those pictures can be on the cover. Oh my god!
I'm trying to think of some other ones though. I think those are the big ones. Like those are the ones I remember being like, yeah, like
fuck yes.
But yeah,
awesome.
we were my family was always big into like making your own stuff and kind of cause that's always cool, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of like buying the overpriced bullshit.
And it's the stuff you buy is always shitty.
Yeah,
it's shitty quality. Pisses me off.
I wish I still had that mask.
Yeah,
I had this crazy mask that was like, I think my dad made it. It was like cut out like the nose and stuff, and it went out like all across there, but it was all painted like yellow.
Oh.
And I think I modeled it after the Mortal Kombat movie, like the one that came out. If you remember what that looked like,
yeah.
It was pretty sick.
Fuck yeah,
I was pretty psyched on it.
Fuck yeah.
Being like 10 years old, like.
That's awesome.
What about you?
Well, shit. I think for like the first like 10 years or something. Or maybe not. No, yeah, probably. For the first 10 years almost, and then for a lot of years after that, I always wanted to be a vampire.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to be a vampire. I remember one time, it was like around Halloween time, my dad and I were in I was real young. I had to have been like 9, and we were in Walgreens, and there was this fucking. I think back now, and I'm like, oh, that's a guy I would see at a concert, but like dressed up like fuck. And I was a kid.
Yeah.
This was before I was into metal. This guy was full blown, like in his late 20s metalhead, and he had fangs, like literally in his mouth.
Yeah.
And my dad knew I wanted to be a vampire for Halloween, and we were at Walgreens looking for something to do with that. And he goes, "Where'd you get those fangs?" And he goes, "Oh, they're implants or something crazy ass like that." Oh my god! Thinking back, that is so fucking funny. Psychopath. Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't know what's more funny.
He's probably lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what's more funny, like the thought of that or the thought of like your dad of all people going up to this dude and like asking
that
like
looks like that. Oh my god.
That's great.
But yeah, I remember one time when I was real young, my dad did like the makeup and everything for me as a vampire, and he did it so good that I looked at myself in the mirror and I started crying and told him to take it off. Swear to God, he did a real good job. Apparently, yeah. I don't really remember it, but and then one year I know I was fucking. If I wasn't a vampire, I wanted to be a werewolf. And like one thing I got from the Halloween store was that costume, and but all it was, and it was actually legit. It was something that like I kept using for years after, so it was actually pretty good material. It's the same thing you'd use if you wanted to be Bigfoot. Like it was just like a onesie of fur. It was just like a fur,
like a big ghillie suit kind of.
Yeah, but like just straight up like no feet, no hands, no head, all fur. And so you put that on, you get. Oh wait, no, it didn't have feet. It did not have feet. And so like yeah, you got to get some kind of like feet for it. You got to get some like werewolf gloves and get a werewolf mask, and you got a werewolf costume. It was actually pretty good. God, I think I still have that werewolf mask. That was a good werewolf mask. But yeah, those are the ones that kind of stick out to me, I guess, are those fucking vampire and werewolf costumes. That was what I was into. Those were yeah.
Dude, I must have been Jason.
For the record, this was fucking from 90 to 99. So long before your fucking Twilight bullshit. Yeah. My werewolves ate people, and so did my vampires. Yeah. Motherfucker.
So like OG kind of.
None of them sparkled. Not a single one. None of them. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the OGs. The fucking, God, whatever that Dracula movie is. The one where the cover of it is like a stone wall with like a stone carving of Dracula's face. Dope.
Oh, yeah.
Love that cover. It could be an album cover. It's so sick. I remember seeing that in the video store growing up. Yeah. Vampires.
Like I said, I think I was Jason for like 3 years, just because I couldn't think of anything more creative.
I got a few years back. I got a Bane mask, and that's what I've been for like the last 3 years. So, yes, it's Halloween.
I think it's pretty legit though.
In Gotham. Yeah,
I don't like.
It's not a great mask. Like it's the shitty one from the store, but you can find really good Bane masks.
Yeah.
I want one.
I have such a hard time like throwing money down on costumes and stuff because like I never have any like real solid plans until like 2 days before.
I just love masks.
It's
like masks. Like ever since I saw that back when I was a kid, it was Goosebumps. My favorite one was The Mask.
Yeah.
And then they had the Goosebumps show. My favorite episode was The Mask. It was so sick. I always loved Halloween masks. There's just something about them to me, like just a Halloween mask. There's an era. There's like an aura to that. There's just like it's so fucking cool. Like it evokes so many images in your head. You know what I mean? Like I love Halloween masks. So I do still to this day buy cool masks. Rarely around Halloween time, honestly. It's because there's this thing online. It's called Trick or Treat Studios, and they do these really great masks, like the Iron Maiden ones and stuff. And they did the haunted mask from Goosebumps. I got that, and yeah, I want more. I just need to think of a good way to display them.
Dude, there's this guy. I think his name is AJ Good, and he has this. It's a YouTube channel I started watching. It's called The House of Masks. And what it is it's I don't know if he finds them and if he has people like send them to him or if he just buys them online or if he makes them or whatever. I haven't looked like too far into like how he does all this stuff. But he's got like, and the thing that really caught my attention about it was he has like old ass like Slipknot masks.
Ooh, cool.
Like all displays and stuff, like all the like the first album stuff. Iowa, he's got like the different variants and stuff, but he's got them all like displayed in these cases and everything. And like he's shown a couple of different ways how he like takes one and kind of like, you know, it might do like, I don't know, he's got videos of himself like going to like Halloween stores and like buying like these like kind of like obscure looking ones and then like flipping them kind of, and then like making like, I don't know, like there was this one I was watching where he made this. It was one of the clown masks, but he like added to it and kind of changed a little bit so it looked like one of like the All Hope Is Gone masks or something. Just like really, you know, just really different kind of stuff. You know,
sweet. More
so like, you know, he's got a bunch of like Halloween, like Michael Myers, you know, just like some like obscure kind of masks and stuff. So I don't know, like that's kind of, you know, it got me thinking like, you know, kind of like what we were talking about with like, you know, the masks have always been the coolest part of Halloween and stuff, and just to see just to see somebody kind of doing that to like that extent and actually, you know, like taking pride in like the art form of it and stuff is really cool.
That's why I love fucking where cosplay's at right now.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like, I'm not even like that level, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a cosplayer, but holy shit, some of the shit they do is so dope. Like I literally saw a full-on Iron Man suit. The only things it could not do is fly and shoot shit.
Yeah.
Everything else you see in the movies, this fucking suit could do.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, dude, like, yeah. I do. There are a few, and not just sexy chicks for the record, but there are some that I follow on Instagram that are just cosplay pages that just show a bunch of different, you know, it's not just one person.
Yeah.
And they show a bunch of people. And I saw one last night with this guy at fucking, I don't know what the fuck he was cosplaying as, but he had these like almost kind of look like Iron Man gauntlets sort of on his arms, and he had these things like these like straight like lines that would come up out of the gauntlet to kind of like if you were looking at his arm straight on, it would look like the middle of like a tic-tac-toe board, you know what I mean? Like that X or whatever sort of. But like, so they would just come up like, you know, 4 out of his arm, and like they would light up, and they had smoke coming out of them somehow. I was like, damn, like it looked so dope. He was like, it looked like he was like powering up or something. This fucking, I don't know what he was cosplaying as, and he had shit on his chest that was lighting up. It was sick.
Wow.
Yeah, there is some next level shit like that out there right now, and it's just cool. I just like that people do it. I think it's awesome.
Well, that was one of the things about going to all the conventions and stuff this year. That like that was just
see some of those sick Predator costumes and shit, dude. Oh my god,
that was one of the cool things. Just walking around, just seeing all these crazy like costumes and stuff. And
yeah, there's actually a really big one going on in Detroit this coming up weekend for Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, but it happens every year. It's called Yumacon.
Okay.
And it takes place at the fucking GM building right downtown Detroit.
Wow.
And it's huge.
Huh.
And I got buddies that go every year, and I went one year, and it was a party. It was a fucking part. Like, just imagine being annihilated drunk walking around fucking the GM building in downtown Detroit with a million fucking cosplayers. Like, it's insane. Like, you're just walking around annihilated, like, Spider-Man! Like, that's Doctor Who right there! Dude, let me shoot your proton pack. Please, let me shoot your proton pack. That Predator is looking at me weird. What the fuck is he side-eyeing me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is Detroit, motherfucker. Yeah, it's a good time, though. I'd go if I had the money this year. It's going to be, because it rarely falls on, like, that close to Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be it's a fun time. Preston's going. But yeah, it's a fun time. It's a big party. Anyway, so you want to wrap up this first chunk?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we got.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Enough.
We are the chunk we have does the ending, so we don't really have to do our closer. We already do it in a second here.
Yeah.
So I guess for all of our listeners, from here on out, what you're gonna hear is the chunk that we have left from the original episode 100. And yeah, we hope you all enjoy. We love you to death. Shout out to regular guests. One of them was a recent guest, Jordan and Gabby, newlyweds, people I love to death. They are actually, but right now, hold on, let me take a it's at 5 o'clock. It's 5-2. They are
Carry the one.
Carry the one. They are probably roughly about an hour and a half out at sea from Long Beach, California, on a boat on their way to Hawaii for their honeymoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was texting me, and apparently, what is today? Is today Saturday?
Yeah.
So apparently he will not have cell phone or internet at all until Thursday. Nothing. Completely dark until Thursday, which terrifies me.
Is that by choice by them?
Well,
or is that just kind of how it worked out?
You're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So there's no cell service.
Yeah.
And they said they could have gotten like an internet package, but they read reviews on it, and they said most of the time it didn't work anyway. So you're just out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Hopefully they come back.
Dude,
like,
it's kind of terrifying. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that.
It'd be...
Like, you can't see land for like 6 days.
Yeah.
There and back.
Yeah.
Like, that's rough. That's rough. That's a little...
I feel like
I can't even get on Facebook.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, like, I don't know. To a point, I feel like it would be kind of nice. But after like a day or two, you're like, all right, I gotta...
Yeah, I got shit to do. What is happening in the world? I've relaxed. Yeah. I feel relaxed. Now I'm feeling anxious that I don't know what's happening anywhere outside of this boat.
Yeah.
That's kind of how... I don't know. That's just me, though. I don't know. Just... I got a tracker on them, though, so you can track the boat.
Yeah. So
I'm tracking it because I swear to fucking God, this goddamn boat goes down, I'm going to have to go and rescue some motherfuckers. Because this shit ain't happening.
You're going to have to be, do some, like, Steve Irwin kind of stuff.
I'm going to do some rock kind of shit. Motherfucker, I'm just going to not hijack, but I'm just going to steal a plane and fucking just get out there.
Dude, the only reason I bring up like Steve Irwin and this whole thing is because but did you ever hear that? I didn't make that connection until you said that. So I was watching this weird, I don't know, it was from a few years ago, but it was from like 2009 or something like that. and it was before like his, you know, the whole like tragic,
Yeah.
you know, passing or whatever. He was talking about they were out. I think they were in like Alaska or something, or I don't know, somewhere. They were on some island or whatever that was kind of far away from everything. And I guess they were filming for some like, I think it was for like, I don't know, like sharks or some shit. I don't know. But basically like they heard this call on their boat.
Oh my God.
From a dude that was like stuck somewhere. And like him and his wife were like stuck somewhere and like for a couple of days. And I guess she ended up passing away.
Oh my God.
Like she got like swept up. Like I don't think that they could find her.
Holy shit.
But like it was weird because like they just decided to like track this call because nobody else was like paying attention to it or whatever. And so he goes out and like rescues the guy, and it's Steve Irwin, and the guy doesn't even like make the connection. He's like, you know, all of a sudden
he's probably like in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden like this, you know, they just like show up and like save this, and I think he was like 60 or 70 maybe. So he was an older dude, you know, but like just to, you know, the fact that like you're, you know, imagine being like stuck on an island somewhere, like feeling like you're gonna die like in the next like day, and then all of a sudden like who else but the fucking crocodile hunter shows up to save your ass? Like,
I mean, was it like David Lee Roth in EMT?
Yeah.
Imagine having a fucking heart attack. And the person that shows up to save you is David Lee fucking Roth.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Were you in Van Halen?
Yeah.
What?
Shout at the devil. Damn.
So I thought, I don't know. You were just talking about that, and it just kind of.
I would go full Steve Irwin in the situation.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck friends getting lost at sea. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Take care of that shit. It is nerve-wracking though.
Yeah. Dude, being out at sea, like, kind of, it's one of those things, because like for one, I don't really know how to swim that well. So like for me, like if I, you know, like drowning is like the worst. Between like drowning and like being set on fire, I feel like.
I think set on fire would be more painful.
Yeah.
Because drowning, apparently, once you like actually inhale water, everything goes numb.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel anything.
Yeah.
But set on fire, you apparently die from smoke inhalation before you actually die from fire. But those first, while you start smoking, are going to be the most painful experiences of your life. So fuck that.
Yeah.
God. Terrible.
How did we get here?
I don't know. It's Halloween time, baby. Dogman is out tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dogman. I need to look up some recent reports and see if there's anything new. I can talk about Dogman. There are some fucking haunted things that I am going to do an episode about coming up. Yeah. I got a little list of just some little fucking tidbits, just a group of little things. Nothing big, but a group of little interesting things that I've come across lately about Michigan haunted locations. That would be cool as fuck to check out. I can't get you to go on one of those with me, can I?
I don't know.
Come on.
I feel like because the way that you've kind of explained it to me, and like knowing that both you and Josh have like
done it a bunch of times,
done it, and like you're still, you know, it's like fine. Living to tell about it.
Yeah, nothing like, bad has ever happened. Nothing at all. It's just fun.
Yeah, I think it's like the initial like, I don't know, curiosity about it that kind of like makes it hard for me to get into. But I feel like at the same time, like it's something that I need to experience at least once in my life, even if it's the only time that I ever do it.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes to these like lock-in ghost hunts and like supposedly real locations like asylums or abandoned battleships or haunted mills, things like that, the ones we've done.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, you are getting unlimited, unfiltered access to a location that you otherwise would have probably never been able to or explored at all. So no matter what, you're exploring like a interesting place every time. So no matter what, that's always there.
Yeah.
It's still always interesting and cool just to be in, like, to physically walk around unlimited. I can go down through any door, any hatch hole that I want in a fucking Vietnam battleship. Like, that was worth price of admission alone.
That's cool.
Like, just running around that bitch is freely. Nobody's you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Go anywhere you want. And yeah, it is that. The old mill, which is really like it's not scary at all. It's literally, during the day, it's a public museum. So it's got it looks like a fucking nice, a nice house with a bunch of, displays, all kinds of museum displays in it and stuff like that. So there's nothing, until you go in the basement, but there's nothing fucking inherently creepy about either of those locations. The asylum is a different story. That one is textbook terrifying, but, and I've talked about it on here before, it's not, dude, we were in a old haunted asylum in the fucking attic, in the dark, so dark I couldn't see my hand in front of my face, and during a fucking thunderstorm. So, like, everything, and we were playing with a fucking Ouija board that was there. We didn't bring it. It was provided. I was like, really? Okay. Dude, there is no, all those things combined, there's no way we shouldn't have seen ghosts or been terrified or whatever. I sat there like I'm sitting here with you right now. Completely calm, not even hair on the back of my neck standing up, nothing. I was completely fine. Not even nervous. Like, the only thing I was nervous about was standing up and tripping over something because it was so dark. Like, so when you can literally be in the textbook situation and be completely calm and not fucking, that means two things to me. A, the environment is not going to have an effect on me. The environment is not going to make me see something that's not there. If I'm there, even in the most terrifying of environments, that is not the factor. The factor is whether or not there's something there, and if I actually see something. And yeah, that night we left there going, nah, didn't really feel anything the whole time. We saw, I have felt things at other places and didn't see anything, and I've also fucking seen shit and not felt anything. But yeah.
Oh, maybe someday at one point.
I think a fun one. Like, if I'm gonna, it's probably too late in this season now. Maybe next year. I think next year maybe I'll take you down to fucking Fort Wayne, because that's right in Detroit. It's literally like a couple football fields away from fucking Armando's, so we could hit Armando's after. And it's an old battle fort, so it's really cool. Like, it's really neat. So
wasn't that the first one you guys did? One of the first ones?
The first one I ever did.
Yeah. And
that was a tour, not a lock-in. But yeah. And I actually have seen shit there. I actually saw, I saw a fucking an empty can of pop lift up and place into a drawer. Like, literally lift up and get placed into a drawer. Not like knocked into or anything like that. It literally lifted. It was crazy. So I've seen a couple things there. But it's just a cool place to fucking walk around, to be honest. Like, it's just a really neat, and it's, local history. So it's just a cool thing to have in your back pocket. It's like, yeah, I went there. Let's fucking learn some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you get an idea for a song.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you don't really have that many paranormal experiences, do you?
Not really.
No. So yeah, we need to give you some.
Yeah.
We need to make that happen, boy. Make that shit happen. Fuck.
I feel like, for one, once I do it once, and like, because to me, I always feel like the expectation is way more than the reality.
Definitely.
In some ways, like, I'm all like,
Definitely.
Going into it, like, I feel like I would expect to have something happen, which maybe is to my detriment a little bit.
It's gotten to the point now where, of course, I hope for it.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't expect anything anymore. Like, there's nothing. I've done it enough times to where nothing's happened to where it shouldn't be an expectation. You know what I mean? It's not something that happens often. I mean, I don't know, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Then again, I haven't done it constantly. I've only done a handful.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do a lot more.
I mean, it's not, I don't know, because I don't find myself like feeling any certain type of way about like seeing it, like watching shows about it and stuff, like ghost hunters or whatever the shows are called. But like, you know, just like, because seeing that stuff like makes me realize that whether, you know, I don't know, some of it's probably staged, I'm sure, but there's things that happen that like you just can't explain or whatever. And I feel like that sort of thing is kind of exciting, but it's also like, you know, I don't know, like I would expect something like that to happen. Like my like I was kind of saying, like the expectation for that, and like, I don't know, just like feeling like on edge because, you know, you're in somewhere that, you know, potentially is.
And I mean, well,
I don't know.
Something you should consider too is in comparing it to like stuff like the shows or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of times on those shows, what you see, like if they're showing you a piece of evidence, 9 times out of 10, they only found that in post.
That's true.
They had to go back and go through all their recordings of everything and find that stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't see it live. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, nothing really happens to them in person while they're there. They have to go back and listen to everything to actually find stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another big part of it. There could be, honestly, I could have some crazy videos and EVPs that I haven't even gone through yet. Like, honestly, because it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And it's tedious. It's very tedious. But yeah. So yeah, that's something else to consider. That a lot of that you see, they didn't see until later.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll.
You should do it. You should do it. Come on. It's a good time. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Not everybody has a chance to do it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, there are, like, I recommend to anybody out there that wants to try to do something like that, go to ghosthuntsusa.com, and they have locations in a lot of states, a lot of different states. So
I feel like I need to just like ease into it.
Yeah.
Instead of going to like the most extreme, like people died here and hung themselves with barbed wire and fucking their spirit of their kids are still here and like
there are 2 super extreme ones that I really want to go to, but I haven't yet. One's in Kentucky and one's in Ohio.
Yeah.
But we shall see one day. I hope to make it there. I also hope to make it to the most haunted city in America, New Orleans, one day. Out of all the cities that I haven't been to yet, that's my number 1 that I want to go to. It's New Orleans. Everyone I know that's ever been there has said it would be my favorite place.
Yeah.
So I want to check it out.
I always wanted to go there.
Yeah. You guys should fucking play a show there. Oh, so tight. Woo.
In the street.
Yeah.
Like,
why not? Fuck it.
Easy.
Set up. Motherfuckers, we're here from Lansing, Michigan. What? You said Lansing, Michigan?
Where?
Where the fuck is that?
What is that?
Oh my god. Episode 100, man. So crazy. Keep coming back to it in my head, like just all the different evolutions that have happened, all the different. Oh yeah, I had an idea for like a show, or not a show, but like something we could do on some episodes. We could dedicate an entire episode to like, cause right now, you know, we do the album reviews and we talk about new albums and stuff like that, but we don't really have a way to talk about the albums that we love that got us into everything. So I was kind of thinking, what if we did episodes called Lost. I had a title for it. Motherfucker. I can't remember right now. I'll remember it in a second. But it's just basically we pick an album like Ashes of the Wake and we just talk about it for an episode. That's it. And it's just
That'd
like
be cool.
the Lost. God damn it! This is gonna bug the shit out of me because it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I'll remember it eventually. But yeah, you know, just pick an album, you know, whatever, anytime, you know, Dahlia, you know, whatever, an influential album for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can just fucking talk about it for an hour. And
talking like video stuff, or like...
we could do. Well, I hope to have most things on video sooner than later. But yeah, definitely eventually on video for sure. But for now, we could just do regular episodes with it. But even the regular episodes will be on video soon. So hopefully. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I just kind of thought of that earlier. I was like, that would be kind of fun. Just to really like get into the weeds of specific albums.
Yeah, like, you know, paying homage to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an idea I had earlier. But yeah, man, come a long way.
Yeah.
Had a handful of guests: Jordan, both my sisters, Recorruptor, Bogwraith. More. I think there's more. Oh yeah, some of our other friends out in Flint, and then lots more to come.
Yeah.
Lots and lots more to come.
Pretty excited about it,
Definitely.
especially because with the new location and stuff, like it'll be easier to kind of, fit
Yeah.
everything. I guess.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like have
We'll have a little more breathing room,
yeah.
and yeah, it'll be. Hope it'll be a nicer setup. I'm really gonna work hard on it and make it as nice as I can.
I know. We talked about doing a. Fuck it. I guess. Eventually, I'm pretty sure we're still going to the one with we're gonna have Mike back on the show.
Oh yeah.
Talk about some news here.
Oh, for some bog ray things?
Yeah.
Anytime. Fuck. Anytime.
Yeah.
Just let him know. How bother him about it. Be like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Shit, holy fuck.
Still, I think once because we're still, I think we're edging pretty close to getting some stuff kind of finalized and hopefully having some new stuff to push out
Fuck yes.
pretty soon.
Fuck yes.
But I don't know. I'd personally like to have a little more in the tank before we can kind of like
Talk about it on here.
yeah,
Fair enough.
because there's a lot that's kind of happening, kind of behind the scenes right now. That's
There's stuff brewing in the bog.
yeah, right, yeah,
The bog is a brewing, my friends.
yeah.
The bog is a brewing. So is the Recorruptor.
Yeah, man.
The Recorruptors are brewing too. We got all kinds of new things coming soon.
I just I don't know. I really hope at some point we at least get to do like a mini tour with them.
Oh my god, me too.
We've talked about it so long. We've
Amazing.
Yeah,
Fucking amazing.
that would just be cool.
Yeah. I would love especially if it was in Michigan, I would follow you guys around, go to every show. Try to at least. That'd be so sick.
I mean, there's always room for a roadie.
Oh,
Always need the
Lost on
extra
the Dark
hands.
Road podcast.
So yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
Oh man, like
Good podcast the whole way.
yeah,
Oh my god.
get different people on it every night and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Some things to think about here,
Yeah.
I think. Oh shit. That'd be amazing. Oh my god.
So
Fuck.
we man, I wish. I don't know. We talked about doing some different like streaming stuff, especially towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's all happening is kind of up in the air. Everything there's like outside of the band and just with everybody, like it's just kind of a crazy time for all of us and stuff. And so that's why we've been a little bit quieter about things lately, especially with like releases and stuff. But we're trying to get a little more ahead, and so
Would love fucking something on Halloween, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little something.
yeah,
Halloween is coming up.
I'm pushing for it.
Ah.
I've had a few ideas and we've kind of talked about some stuff. So hopefully,
I don't know what the fuck the Halloween episode here is going to be, but
yeah,
it's going to be something. Come up with something. I have a really great idea, but I have not had enough time to get it done, so I probably won't be able to do it this year. But
is it the thing that we've talked about?
Yeah.
Last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. This will only be the second Halloween we're on.
Yeah.
So I'll think of something though.
Possibly. Yeah.
I'll think of something good. I don't know what, but I'll think of something.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
I don't know. Maybe not for this one.
Yeah.
But something. Something. I'll come up with something. For Christ's sake. Shit. Yeah. I don't know. Got anything else? I don't know.
I think we kind of hit everything.
Trying to think of.
Did we
something.
talk? Did we talk about the Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
Son of a bitch. Oh my god.
That was the other thing that we were talking about on this one.
Oh my god. I cannot believe we almost forgot to talk about the Jay and Silent Bob
Yeah.
reboot. Oh my shit. Oh my god. All right, well here. This is
All right.
what this shot is going to Jay and Silent fucking Bob. Oh my god. Another one where honestly. Okay, so turn the clock back. I'm already into turn the clock back maybe 3 years, 4 years. I'm already into I know what podcasts are. I have, at this point in time, at least heard chunks of an episode of Rogan here and there, a couple things here and this and that. I remember at my apartment when I lived at the apartment, I was up in the morning getting ready, and the night before I watched Clerks 2, and it just made me so happy, and I loved it so fucking much. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, I want more Jay and Silent Bob. Like, I want more. Literally, this was my thought process. Like, I remember this vividly. Like, this was what was going on in my head. In the morning, while I'm getting ready, dressed and everything, about to take a shower, and I knew what podcasts were, and I'd never opened that thing on my phone, though. And I was like, I wonder... I know what they are, though. I know that certain people have them, like celebrities, this and that, and they just sit down and talk. I was like, I wonder what happens when I search Jay and Silent Bob on the podcast thing. And lo and behold, little did I know that Kevin Smith was the king of podcasts.
This whole world.
One of the founders of podcasting at all.
Yeah.
He had the very first podcast network, Smodcast, and...
I still forget about that sometimes.
And I found Jay and Silent Bob Get Old and proceeded to listen to every episode, and then ended up going to see that podcast live a few times with you and some others.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that Jay and Silent Bob Get Old was the podcast that opened the door for me to the world of podcasting. That one was the first one really for me that made me fall in love with this media. And then from there, hearing Jay's story and Kevin's story with Jay, and then finding Fat Man on Batman, which is what it was called at the time, and then getting to know Kevin in that way through his love of pop culture things like Batman specifically and stuff like that, which is something that I have always loved from a kid too. So like, it was all those melding, combining things that eventually came together to influence me to the point to start this podcast. So to be on episode 100 and being able to talk about a new Jay and Silent Bob movie, one that, and trust me, I've listened to a whole fuck ton of podcasts for all these years. Trust me, this movie was never planning on getting made.
Yeah.
It was never really in the cards. When I first started listening to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, Jay would say, we want a Jay and Silent Bob 2, and Kevin would say no. Like, originally, it was never going to happen. So, the fact that it did, and we get to sit here and talk about it on episode 100 of our podcast, is very special to me. For me, as someone who's such an avid Kevin Smith fan, seen all the movies, listened to all the podcasts, read his fucking book, and I continue to listen to every new podcast and everything. Like I follow him through everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I felt like that gave me an edge going into this movie, that there were going to be some real deep cut inside jokes that I was going to get that others might not, and that was definitely the case. Yeah. So for me personally, as that level of a fan, this movie was everything I wanted it to be and more. It was he put us right back in the world of Jay and Silent Bob, just like all these other directors we've been talking about. And he kept going around. It was kind of genius. He kept going around saying it's the first one just rebooted. He kept saying it's basically a carbon copy of the first one. Not the case at all. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of twists in this movie and a lot of turns and a lot of emotion and a lot more heart and a lot more acting. You know what I mean? And it was really fucking good. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. Every second of it. I laughed, and it was everything I wanted it to be. It's fucking amazing. What did you think about it?
Well, kind of a similar... Like I don't know how to follow that exactly. Just because, well, I guess to kind of like, I don't know, explain like my point of view on it and stuff. Like, so I wasn't because it came around at a time where like I was still kind of younger and stuff, and like when Clerks was out and stuff, like I don't know, it wasn't really anything that like I was like paying attention to, I guess, until much older, until I could like actually like relate to it and stuff, and kind of like understand like all the jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'd seen, I don't that like there's still a few that I haven't seen. Like I don't think I've seen Clerks 2.
Oh shit.
I also don't think I've seen I don't know. I think maybe that's like of those movies, like of that series, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that might be the only one I haven't seen.
Askew-averse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a good way to put it.
That's what he called it.
But I didn't feel like that was a big issue. Like I just kind of felt like, you know, some of the jokes kind of like went over my head a little bit just because I didn't know like where it was coming from, I guess. But like the majority of it and stuff, like in terms of all of the, you know, like where the story was at and how they all got there and stuff, and like the significance of, you know, this one being like the remaster, like second part of part 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know. It's kind of a weird like timeline, I guess. But like, so that I understood and stuff, and like I don't know. I appreciated the fact that they brought back a ton of people,
Everyone,
so many guests and stuff. Like every time I was like, oh shit, that's so and so, or that's you know, oh I know them from this or that, or like oh they were in the last movie or whatever, and. So it was cool to see that, and it was also cool to kind of like to have some like closure for some of the characters, like with what's the name of his Jay's the weather lady.
Oh, Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
Yeah. It was cool.
Justice.
Yeah. It was cool to see that how that story kind of played out into this one, and like eventually, I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler or anything like that, but whatever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Like the fact that like Jay was like his daughter was Kevin Smith's in real life.
Oh yeah.
And like that, like just watching how that all played out and stuff, and kind of seeing like. You know how he was talking, and like sometimes he'd be like, oh well, you know, like he was kind of an asshole, he was this or that, and like he's standing like off screen over there, like I don't know, I kind of had to like take myself out of that, but like just like seeing how after, you know, fuck, how long has it been since the last one?
Oh, it's like 2001 or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So about, you know, like what 18, 19 years almost.
Yeah,
like just seeing like. Not only like where the story writing was going and like how much it's like changed from that, but also like the fact that they kept the source material and like where they took it from pretty much like as close to it as they could.
Yeah,
was great. It was awesome.
Do you remember the very first scene in Strike Back where it's the two babies?
Yeah,
and then it molds into the fuck, motherfuck, fuck.
Yeah.
One of those two babies is Harley. So the one that played Jay's daughter in the movie.
Yeah.
That's one of those two babies is her.
Wow.
So that's how much time has passed.
Yeah, I never knew that.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So crazy.
She's a really good actor, honestly.
She is good. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yoga Hosers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is quite good.
So I definitely, there were things about, and like I think that Strikes Back, as weird of a movie as it is, like there's still like I don't know, I really enjoy that movie.
Strike Back?
That one. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that movie, dude.
Yeah.
Ladies. Jay and Silent Bob in there.
Yeah. And the fact that like, so the first scene in the courtroom.
Oh yeah.
With Justin Long.
Yeah.
He does like the like their little intro thing.
It's Jay.
Yeah.
And Silent Bob.
Yeah. And then it like goes into the you know, like the scene or whatever. It's kind of like seamless or whatever. And
so good.
Yeah.
So all those little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. He always peppers in there.
Yeah. My only real like critique that I had with it was that, and maybe it was in like I don't know how much I missed, because there was one point where I got up and I think I missed like maybe 5 minutes of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But like to me, it felt like, you know, they spent so much time like building the story of like them like traveling there, like getting to the convention and stuff, and then like all of a sudden it kind of just felt like they didn't know where to take it, so they just kind of like wrapped it up real quick and then like ended up at back
Quick
at
Stop?
the original.
Well, you have to end up at Quick Stop.
Yeah, which was just amazing. Like,
Yeah.
see that store over there? We've been showing up for 25 years, putting gum in the locks
Every morning.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that was so goddamn funny. I love how Tommy Chong was Alfred too.
yeah.
That was so good. Hey man.
Yeah,
So fucking good.
So I don't know. I like as being somebody that like, cause I'm not quite as invested in the story as you are, but like as a fan of like his writing and his movies and stuff, and like just seeing how he took that story and then like kind of like refreshed it for kind of like the modern age, I guess.
Yeah.
And like kind of like what you're saying, like the fact that it almost didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like there was a point in time where it was just kind of like,
It was never going to happen.
Yeah.
It was never going to happen. Jay was never... Kevin Smith was originally planning on making a sequel, or a loose sequel to Tusk called Moose Jaws.
Huh.
And Jay and Silent Bob were going to appear in that, and the Moose Jaws was going to kill one of them.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the end of Jay and Silent Bob. That was the
really?
original plan. When you go back to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old early episodes, that was his plan.
Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And like, because I don't know, I guess more or less like when we first started kind of doing this and, talking about like podcasts or whatever, like I have to give probably more credit to the Josta podcast for kind of getting me into it as far as like the music aspect and as far as like understanding how much, like what all consists of a podcast and everything, and kind of like, because we just kind of started throwing the idea around one day. I was just doing it, and all of a sudden, like, here we are, episode 100 or whatever. But like, so as far as the influence that that Kevin Smith had on me, like it wasn't until much later. Yeah. And it wasn't until seeing some of his movies and watching some of his interviews and stuff and realizing kind of like where he's coming from as a director, as an actor and everything, like a writer and stuff. And then the whole heart attack thing happened.
Yeah.
And, it's just like it's the same thing. Like it almost had the same kind of effect on me that like, and I've said it about like Slipknot before. Like, Volume 5, like, just it almost didn't happen. And just like the fact that it does is, I appreciate.
Yeah.
Whether or not, I liked it or not is, irrelevant at this point. But like, just being able to appreciate the fact that, it's almost like 2 decades later.
Yeah.
Damn near.
Yeah.
And like this is happening and stuff, and knowing all that I know about, his story and everything and like where it's all kind of come from, it was cool to kind of be sitting there like watching it and stuff. And so.
And did you see that he's decided he's like, you know what? I had such a good time. The heart attack happened, and that was the catalyst to make this Jay and Silent Bob movie. I had such a good time doing it, and I felt right being able to give these characters the closure I felt that they deserved.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do that for my other characters in Clerks 3.
Oh, really?
So he's 100% making Clerks 3. And listen to this, dude. It's the greatest plot ever. It is fucking... Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but in the original, when Clerks started, he was going to write himself into the movie, but he didn't want to direct and have to memorize lines. So he decided to be Silent Bob, so he didn't have to have lines. Originally, he was going to be Randall, because he, as he says, Randall has all the best lines in the movie.
Yeah.
So in Clerks 3, what's going to happen is Randall is going to have a heart attack. And that is going now, because I don't know, you said you're not sure if you saw Clerks 2. At the end of Clerks 2, they were working at movies, and then everything went down, and then they ended up buying back and going back to the Quick Stop. And so now they own and run the Quick Stop and the video store next door. So that they all started it.
Yeah.
And so now when Clerks 3 will pick up, they will have been owning that for a while. Randall has a heart attack and survives the heart attack and realizes that for all these years of talking about movies and working in a movie store, we should make a movie. And he makes Clerks.
Wow.
Dude.
That's genius.
Is that... I have goosebumps right now. Like, I was
man.
that is the greatest fucking plot you've come up with ever.
Yeah.
So meta And like that was
Yeah.
originally going to be him in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Almost-
I fucking loved it.
Almost like autobiographical kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Like yeah.
Except like instead of already, having already made the movie and then had the heart attack is the catalyst to make the movie. This thing. Oh, it's
Yeah.
like that twist. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I read that shit, it floored me. And cannot wait for that movie now.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. And apparently, so this one, Reboot, is on the road show now. And then apparently sometime next year it'll be on some streaming service. So, yeah. Can't wait till it comes out on DVD, though. I'm going to watch it over and over.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch all the special features, which I feel like we probably saw a bunch of at the end of
Yeah.
the viewing we saw.
The only like I don't know, like if as somebody that's kind of interested in like the art of filmmaking and stuff and kind of like seeing all that stuff, like it was cool that they kind of like took the time to like talk to like the different people that are kind of involved and stuff.
Yeah, all the different moving parts that make movies happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet.
But I could see where, and I think by the end of it, like it was awesome, like maybe 5 other people
Yeah.
that were kind of hanging out and stuff. So it was a little bit of like a niche kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like if you were into it, you were into it. But if not, like, I don't know. I just like, to me, I felt like it would have been a little bit more effective if they would have put like, the like the blooper reels and like the extended stuff before all that, and then kind of went into it.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
can see that.
But yeah, that was a cool kind of touch on just the idea of like the bonus content and all that good stuff, and so
It was fucking epic.
yeah,
I loved it so much. Such a good movie, and I can't wait to see it again on the road show.
yeah,
So I'm very excited.
really need to see it again.
Yeah, hopefully it'll get released up here in some theater after they come to Detroit and Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's been such a crazy, like, I don't know, we talk all the time about like music and stuff, but like this year for movies has been really sick too.
Yeah, it has.
Like,
It's been sweet.
Like the last 2 movies, Joker and then this one, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to see twice because
Yeah.
I feel like I missed some stuff the first time,
Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree on both those, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, shit, man. Are we calling it? Is this
Yeah.
episode 100?
I guess, yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
think that's about everything.
Holy fucking shit. All right. Well, I guess we'll just take a moment here to thank everybody
Yes.
that has listened, everybody that's viewed, checked us out, and contacted us on Instagram, all the bands that we've reviewed and talked to and interviewed, all the guests we've had, everyone that's ever had anything to do with this in a positive way. Thank you so much. Cannot thank you enough for getting us to episode 100. And the next one is the start of the next chapter of Lost in the Dark.
Season 2.
See, yeah.
Season 2.
Shit. Lost chapters.
The Lost.
Son of a bitch. Shasta.
Why?
Why? We can't use it now. Lost chapters. Damn it.
Dude,
that's so good.
That's
Damn it. Damn it, Shasta. You're too good at coming up with names.
We'll have to
Doomsayer.
we'll have to come up with
We'll come up with something.
yeah.
God. So crazy, though. Cannot believe we made it this far. So thank you, everyone, so much.
Definitely.
From the absolute bottoms of our hearts. Like, it means the world. And yeah, so over the course of this next week, I'm still going to be getting things set up, so it might be a little slow in episodes, but I hope to get at least one more out, and then the following week I'll be hitting the ground running for sure. So with some Halloween stuff, and it'll be a good time for the last week of October.
Jesus.
Yep.
Almost 2020.
It's almost
dude.
2020, man.
What the
fuck?
That's like a fake year.
It does, doesn't it? It's not, That's not real. That's not real.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Yeah, so fuck. I think that's about it. You got anything else?
Just I don't know.
Follow Bogwraith
It's
on YouTube,
Yep.
Bandcamp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch.
Pay attention to our Twitch, to our Facebook. Most of the time Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
If ever there's live stream stuff or things that we're posting about, 90% of the time it's either on Facebook or Instagram, one of the two.
Hell yeah.
So definitely follow us on there.
Definitely.
So
And be sure to follow us on all the same and including anywhere you listen to podcasts, iTunes, whatever. Leave us reviews, likes, subscribes, all that fun stuff. Thank you all so fucking much. All right. Let's end this with one more shot. Everybody, please raise your fucking horns, bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Hold on, let's clink one more time. Good night.